Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is episode 24. Last time, we completed the Blood of Arlathan main quest and witnessed Elganon summon Lucican, his archdemon. Pretty incredible sequences, especially being pulled into some sort of fade trap and then witnessing Solus with that weakened veil being able to do some trickster god mischief and distract Elganon, allowing us to escape. And we're going to have some words with him today. We're going to seek out Solus, so we're going to have another meditation session. But before we do that, our companions have moved around the place, so we're going to listen to some conversations and then we'll check in before departing.
Coin for your thoughts.
I'm fine.
Oh, there's an act for the road.
I'm just a little worried about everything. But we're gonna be fine, right?
We don't know that.
Very comforting.
We'll manage something. Might even make it out alive.
Slightly better.
I try.
The updates to the rooms. I love it. You move forward in the main story and everyone gets bedroom upgrades. Let's go see what's happening in the other rooms then. I think this stuff outside is new. I don't think anything in here is necessarily different. Even if you're going to get a new codex entry, but yeah, it's clearly way more in depth in Harding's location. I think Nev's has stayed quite the same too.
So, how does it work? Being half undead, I mean. Which half of Hezenkos is undead? That feels important?
I wasn't being quite so literal. The line between life and undeath can be porous.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
What were you imagining?
Well, one leg's alive, other's undead, so you kind of just go in circles.
I think Balara is smarter than that. That doesn't really seem fitting for Balara. That feels very silly. She's too smart for something like that.
I can't believe we've got another archdemon to deal with.
This time will go better.
It has to.
Do you think you'll survive this one?
I don't know. Getting out of Weishaupt alive might have been a fluke.
It cannot be. Asan needs you. I wouldn't mind you sticking around either.
You're not so bad yourself.
Ooh. And then they were kissing. Alright, so we'll see how the archdemon goes. That's something that I'm very curious about, because it seems that there's multiple ways to interpret it, whether it's like because Gillenane was so close to her archdemon that the essence of the archdemon upon being slain reverted back to her instead of like killing the Grey Warden that killed it. So the same thing may happen with Elganon, but we can never be sure that it's going to do the same thing. So we'll have to really let that play out first. We'll just have to cross that road when we get to it. Will we lose a character? Can there be a companion death? Maybe. That's not out of the wheelhouse for BioWare, so we'll see.
Elgarnon's an asshole. Talking in people's minds, promising them stuff. It's messed up. At least we saved the Dalish. That'll piss him off.
I can't tell you how much I wish that all Tosh said was Elganon's an asshole, and that was it. It's brilliant.
You've got allies from Rivain to Navarra now. If the enemy makes a move, they'll see it.
We're really not making any moves in here, are we? And you're not making any moves on repairing Bianca yet. And, like, you've been here for probably... I want to say that it's probably been a good couple of months, at least, in the game's story. That's what it feels like. Weeks to months. Fix that shit. Alright, let's meditate. Let's see how we're gonna be sassy to each other now.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Whatever my frustrations with them, it feels good to have helped my people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
You and Elganon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I've found most objectionable. You have met him now. Heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind. And you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
The way the two of you argued, it didn't feel like enemies. It felt like family.
How so?
Family knows you better than anyone, and that can be good or bad.
I had not thought of it that way. But yes, we had centuries to stoke the fires of our hatred. I saw his rise to tyranny coming, and could not stop it. And he saw me disrupt his plans for dominion time and time again.
All right. I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
And then they were kissing. So, remember Solus being in a position of having such immense and unimaginable power, and people telling him, hey, Chuckles, you could be wrong here. There could be something else going on. Come on, pal.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
But that's not their fault. All of it relevant.
Let me guess. You tried to tell them what they were getting wrong, and they didn't believe you.
There are few things that frustrate me as much as ignorance. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And one of the first lessons in the Mornwatch is that the Fade is reality as seen through a smoky mirror.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
Absolutely. I love there's a humor as the player reading the subtitles of Solus chuckling and it saying his nickname that Varric gave him. Just, aha, Chuckles, gotcha.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Algernon's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Algernon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I've earned the respect of the Dreadwolf. Now that's a notification. Yep, that's a Tosh thing to say. Wow, that is interesting. I totally get that from Solus in the sense of he's in a position where he can't do anything. So he's like, I have to now use you to get what I need to happen to fix this mess. He hasn't really seen us with our team, though, unless this is more of the... in that instance where we were in the thinned veil and he could kind of speak to us. Can he see outside of my eyeballs as I'm doing stuff because he's stuck in my head? I would say no, because he has to ask us for updates on what's going on. When have you seen me with my team? That's surprising to hear.
I'm impressed you got that out without choking on it.
If I could not admit when I was wrong, I would be no better than Algernon. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
No, you did not. No, you did not. I've got you caught in 4K butt grabbing. Do not even go there.
Except for Inquisitor Llewellyn.
I said that I resolved to do so, not that I succeeded. She is a good woman. Growing close to her was selfish of me.
Do you regret it?
I live with countless regrets. Some of them I have grown to cherish more than my victories.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganon and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganon's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
Did I just get told that the end of the game is happening? We've got our last chance to prepare. Having a ritual...
So now Elganon's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elgernon's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Asand just being sat there. The concept of there needing to be like a ritual that's done during an eclipse is so good. That's going to be visually incredible. Can't wait for that. Let me think. Which is exactly what Rook is thinking internally as the camera slow zooms into his face. He's like, let me think. What do I have to say? He's just zoning out right now. And a very interesting chat with Solus. I'm wondering if that was basically it's gearing up for the end game, so get your affairs in order. It does feel like it's getting closer to that section. He deflected that do you regret it question, because he's like, I have a lot of regrets. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I've watched them on the projector screen. So the Inquisitor not being on the regret wall, plus his ability to deflect that question, makes me feel like he doesn't regret it, but he won't admit it.
Okay. We always knew this was going to be hard, right? And yeah, maybe it's a little harder now. More than a little. But either we stop this, or all of Thedas falls. So we see it through. All the way. Because no one else is going to.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elgranon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And several storehouses worth of food, what little we had left. It's enough to feed the Antam Navy for 3 months. Or all of Treviso for 6 weeks.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail. That said, the Venatori aren't up to anything good in Minrathous.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Right. With everything she's been doing in the south, we owe her an update.
I'll let her know.
Second Inquisitor meeting? I just thought it was going to be the one, and then the letters. We get to see her again. Yes. Hell yeah.
Keep your weapons ready. We don't know when the gods will show themselves again. Be prepared for anything. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
Book club notes, second meeting. Don't give me the book club notes. I'm not part of it. For the love of Treviso. Okay. And quests. Legacies and legends as well. Jesus. Quest dialogue. So while I do say approaching the end game, there's still the sense of legacies and legends. For the love of Treviso, there's still companion stuff. There's 3 conversations, and a quest. So the conversations will go pretty quick. Wonderful. Let's see what we got. Message from Minrathous. Rook, we heard the wonderful news coming out of Arlathan. You're doing, we're told. The Venatori is still reeling from their failure, and Dorian's caught wind of some of their most recent plans. Drop by the shop when you can. May. The soul of a city. And a letter from the Hossberg wetlands. Rook, we have continued to study changes in the Blight. Our latest findings very interesting and disturbing. We'll catch you up the next time you're in the wetlands. Antoine. Okay. Something's coming. Okay, before we do quests and dialogue, let's go hang out in the kitchen because everybody's there.
So, compared to what wardens usually eat, how's the food here?
It's warm. That's a start. Wardens usually eat cold gruel.
Yuck. What is gruel, anyway?
There's the eternal question. We never did get an answer.
Probably for the best.
You look distracted. Something on your mind?
You ever get a bad feeling you can't shake, but you don't know if it's for you or someone else?
With my job, it's usually both.
Yeah.
For both of your jobs, I would say. Okay.
Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
That's what you've been doing.
It'd be kind of surprising if you didn't.
I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
You needed a little push, but this battle was yours. You fought and you won.
You helped me remember who I was. Not some Titan, but just Lace Harding. And you believed in me. Enough to risk everything. I'll never forget that, so don't you forget it either.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. Do you think he can be helped?
Solus took this path because he thinks he has no choice. But the Inquisitor believes there is another way for him. For them. She could save him, if he would just let her. No one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
Yeah, let's bring the Inquisitor in. Come on. Let's have the Inquisitor talk to Solus. Let's do it. I'm down for that. Get into my head too. We'll cozy up. So we've got Harding thinking about Solus. I think about Solus sometimes. You ever think about Varric? He's in the broom closet. You want to go say hello to him? It's got to be intentional. It has to be intentional. There's two things that I have, like how I think about it is ignoring Varric and him not being included in anything except the group meeting where he stands there and says some things and then leaves. It has to be intentional that they've done it this way. Or the alternative is Varric was supposed to die very early in the game at that opening scene, and then they kind of panicked and said, oh no, we can't do that because it's Varric, and then bed rest for the whole game. Because I've been like wondering, is he gonna get up and be like, hey guys, let's do it, and Bianca's fixed and he's out of bed after like so long resting? Because again, I'm thinking it's got to have been like weeks at least in terms of the timeline. And he's still just like, I'm sleepy, I'm gonna go to bed. So I wonder if it was a very like late decision to just be like, we're gonna keep him alive actually, guys, and then just have him be there. I don't know. It just strike me as very odd, regardless. Let's see what these quests are about, though.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since?
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know.
Chathan's house. Lair of the Dragon King. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now that's a nice quest title. I like that.
Mana, hello. I assume Vorgoth's not far.
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
There you are.
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
A lantern that sucks the life out of people.
Their very souls. But we know where Johanna will be.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom. Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
We could also be having a normal reaction to facing danger every other day.
No, it shouldn't be this crushing, this prevalent. No. Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
Little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
The Sacrifice of Souls. Alright. So it looks to also be potentially resolving Emmerich's questline. I'm not sure on the others, but I am sure of one thing. There's a big old list of things for us to do now. Opening up the codex, we have many new entries for us to read. Let's take a look. We have book club notes for the second meeting. Attending Balara, Nev, Harding, Emmerich, Lucanus. You know, it's also absolutely, maybe not absolutely, no, absolutely insane as well is Mr. Author, you know? Mr. Author, Varric Tethris, Hard and Hightown fame. On bed rest, not invited to the book club? It has to be intentional. It has to be intentional. Because you can't... I understand leaving Rook out as he's like the boss, he's doing stuff, but you can't leave out the guy who's got nothing else to do. That's just wild. Alright. Mistress of the Scarlet Moon by Irian Cestus. Chosen by Harding. Notes taken by Balara. Harding felt the archery scenes were very unrealistic, spent 7 minutes demonstrating that the shots described were completely impossible, broke 3 lamps. Emmerich thought protagonist made very realistic decisions, felt that the number of songs in the book was excessive. Balara lost copy of the book halfway through reading it, still able to guess the plot twist correctly. And Nev commented that the book made her hungry, elaborated that it was not the blood, and Lucanus felt the book accurately conveyed the boring parts being an assassin, and did not enjoy the book. Dice rolled, and Lucanus picks the next book. Really does sum up these companions to a T, doesn't it? Alright, the Grey Wardens. A Warden Future. There's never been a lot of writing about what happens after the last archdemons fall. It was lifetimes away for the Wardens before us, and our lives are shorter than most. I didn't think about it either. It's sad in a way. People couldn't imagine a day it would end, or that things would have a chance to get better. Not as a break between the last bad thing and the next, a chance for Thetis to recover for longer this time. Given all we've seen, maybe it needs that more than we know. The Blight's changed, so stopping archdemons won't end our work. Maybe that should still feel sad, but it doesn't. There's a world here to fight for, and we can win. An excerpt from Evka's journal, and a small blue flower is pressed alongside it. Very interesting in regards to, the end of the Blights, because the end of the archdemons, but then because the Blight has now changed, we'll have to see what happens and what comes after. Before going into Veilguard, I had the sort of mentality that I was like, this could be the end. Like, they could wrap it up with this because of where the story is heading, and that it is coming to a head in regards to Inquisition's lore and story revelations, that it's just like, we're heading to almost a complete potential reset of everything that we know about the established lore of Thetis. But we'll have to find out. Once we get to that point, we'll see if that's necessarily the case. But a very exciting yet stressful potential there. Returning to the stone. Harding's thoughts scribbled in the margins of her journal. They say we return to the stone after death. In Orzammar, only those laid to rest with the proper rites get to return to the stone, and the privilege of a good burial is reserved for the upper castes. No luck for the casteless or servicers. Rejected by the stone, they say. But I'm a servicer. The stone, whatever it is, hasn't rejected me. But if we do return to the stone, every single one of us, why can't I sense the others that have passed? That's a good question. Very good question. Freed from the Evanurus. Today, in coordinated strikes along the eastern coast, agents of Fen'Harel liberated slaves bound to Andriel. Their slaves had the life forces cruelly bound to magical wards that were supposedly set to defend Arlathan against enemies from across the sea, but which were in fact being siphoned for Andriel's personal empowerment. These slaves are now free, recovering their strength and safety. People of Arlathan, the Evanurus would have you believe that such suffering is necessary, that your only worth is in service, and that they must bind you to protect you from outside aggression. They are lying. You are the strength of Arlathan, not them. When you see the truth and are ready, call to Fen'Harel, and he will break your shackles. And about the freed slaves, we got word from the warding sites, many dead, far more than the casualties we inflicted. The story being spread is that we killed everyone. Andriel's servants made examples of a few and claim the Dreadwolf is trying to weaken Arlathan by attacking servants and destroying the wards. It's hard to tell what people really believe now. I know you're likely berating yourself reading this. Just remember the faces of the people we saved. We can't control what the Evanurus do. And yes, we have to keep playing up the Dreadwolf. The people need someone they believe is strong enough to protect them, or they'll never join us. Don't worry. I promise to mock you viciously if you ever start believing those stories yourself. That's a great little piece there. Alright, I think with that, we get to choose our destination and our quest. So I think what I'll go for is we'll try and get these conversations out of the way, and then we've got quests.
Careful ahead.
You made me.
Oh.
It can talk.
You'll all die.
It's the man from Demetis Crossing. He's blighted.
I guess wolves didn't get him after all. Let's finish the job.
My eyes are open. We all serve the blight.
Man, that's crazy. Okay.
Ready for a follow-up.
Oh, he's dead. Silly little mayor. Wow.
Ready here.
Can't say I regret the choice. That's how Demetis Crossing follow-up. Super bizarre.
Nice.
I was like, as soon as I saw this, like, enemy drop in, I'm like...
Good riddance. One less horror in the world.
Jeez. As soon as I saw that enemy drop in, I'm like, that's not a unique enemy. But yes. That's pretty crazy. Time to start Hummingbird's Lament.
Ballora, you came. I am surprised.
I almost didn't. With everything that happened, I didn't want to. But you're my brother. Still. Even with all of that. Did you come? Alone?
Yes. Though you didn't.
Not after what happened to Hamuel. To Yanarl. The others.
The ritual should have granted them purity. Strength. That it did not. That is my failure. I was not worthy. I will do better. I must do better. For Inaris. For our people.
Inaris is building an army, Syrian. The ritual worked exactly like you wanted it to.
No. Inaris would never do that. He wants what's best for our people. It was my failure, and my failure alone.
He's a warlord. That's all he is, all he ever was.
So said the Evanuris. But the victors write the histories. He fought to make our people great. And the Evanuris fought to keep them in fetters. He showed me the world as it once was, as it could be again.
It's like, this guy, this Inaris guy, is a cool guy, like, has an odd choice in fashion, very evil looking, but, like, that's because he's just so gentle and soft on the inside.
How many elves have to die to get there?
Greatness requires sacrifice.
No, that's not the Syrian I know. He's influencing you through the mask, poisoning your thoughts.
My thoughts remain my own, Ballora. Why can you not accept that I chose this willingly? Through this mask, I feel what he feels. When he thinks of our people rising once more, have you ever felt the warmth of a god's happiness or the cold bite of their fear?
What is it he's afraid of then?
I'm not sure, but it haunts him, consumes his thoughts. I must help him. Help us to face whatever it is.
So he hasn't told you what it is he's afraid of?
No, but no doubt he keeps it from me for good reason.
It's crazy. It is like, my thoughts are my own, but like occasionally, kind of always, I'm feeling his feelings. There's no manipulation though. I just want him to be happy, and then when he's happy, I'm happy, and when he's sad, I'm sad. You know?
He's playing you for a fool.
Syrian, I know you. You don't want to do this. You were my anchor, Syrian. You kept me grounded. When my thoughts lied to me, you always told me the same thing. Do you remember? Trust your heart, Boris Shivan. It's a good heart, and it'll never lie to you. So why won't you trust it now?
I must do what I must.
Me too.
We're gonna have to stop them. Him.
I know. Come on. You've got work to do.
I must do what I must. Well, that conversation went well, didn't it? Lara's bond has increased. Yes. Didn't go very well. Well, we'll see what happens when it comes to quest time for Balara to deal with Syrian and Anaris. Maybe there's redemption for Syrian. Maybe there isn't. We'll have to play that mission and find out. I genuinely think, does feel like, even with that heartfelt appeal, that he's still committed to being an asshole about it.
The picnic, huh? Not how I pictured hanging out with a monster hunter.
Evka and Antoine's doing. They told me after all the wardens have been through, and what's ahead, that I should take a break.
I'm surprised you actually listened.
You know how sad Antoine can look?
So what did you pack for the picnic?
Emmerich helped me brew a gingerwort truffle tea. I thought we'd see what all the fuss is about.
Has Emmerich actually tried this tea out yet?
He looked it up in some books. Says people used to drink it all the time.
And lived to tell about it?
Bottoms up. That's not bad.
It's, gingery, but also garlic, hints of mushroom, and, something else. Oh, well, I've never eaten a worm, but yeah, it is a little earthy. Wait, what? There, Davarin.
What?
Hassan just talked to me.
Huh? What did he say?
No, not that. What you said before.
Emmerich said gingerwort might have some kind of magical properties.
More than mine.
Maybe it affects some people more than others. You alright, Rook?
He said worms! The gingerwort truffle tea has allowed me to understand the Griffin language.
Worms to you too, Hassan.
Worms?
Yeah, you wouldn't get it. It's between me and Hassan.
You want to dig some up for him? Be my guest.
I'll skip that. Thanks for getting me out of the lighthouse, Davarin. And with good company.
Curious. People used to drink it, and he was reading about books. It could be that the Grey Wardens of old used to drink gingerwort truffle tea with their griffins, and then they could commune with one another through the power of the mushroom. Is it on that level of depth? How mushroom and fungi communicate through that network? Can it be that by drinking trufflewort tea with a hint of mushroom, you can connect through it? I want to say that level of depth is possible, but we are playing Dragon Age Veilguard, and Alright, we're going to head back to the lighthouse after those conversations, because that should update for Balara? Yes. And then Davrin and Harding have some quests too. The never-ending quests.
I do not understand why Nevarans are so obsessed with turning dead.
Undead.
Which is different from regular dead how?
The hope that one's soul can return to visit this world.
But you don't need to be dead for that. Your soul is here now.
Not forever.
Not forever, because it'll go somewhere else for a time.
Oh, hey, Rook.
What are you working on?
Oh, it's part of that artifact, you know, from the ritual. I wanted to see how they did what they did, what it meant. Tried asking that thing. It won't tell me.
The knowledge of the great Anaris is...
A theme. Least I figured that out. How to make it go away, I mean. Damn it. We are getting through to Syrian. He almost listened.
He was listening to you, Balara. Because you're his sister.
He was my brother. My only brother. And just for a moment, he was my brother again. Then he wasn't. Then he was a person I might need to... I don't think I can, Rook. Do that.
Like it or not, you might have to.
My head understands that, but my heart believes that we'll get through to him somehow.
I really hope you're right.
Well, either way, we'll be able to find them.
How?
Oh, I didn't tell you. Right. The artifact. Couldn't figure out how it did it. Made those demons, I mean. But I attuned its resonance, and I'll know where they are next time, before they finish. So we can stop them. However we have to.
We'll save your brother, Balara.
I hope you're right. I really do. But if we don't... Anyway, I should get back. To work, I mean. I don't think we have much time.
Don't worry, Balara, we'll save him in one way or another. We'll figure it out.
I'm meeting Stalgard at Asana Nagat, on the mountain. Come with me?
Is there unfinished business?
No, nothing of the sort, but I could use company, if you're up for the trip.
Alright, we're heading back there for an outing. The Eternal Hymn.
Rook, Evka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendel with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendel.
Agreed. Thanks.
Nice. The Profane and the Lost. So we have a update on Isaiah and potentially closing out that quest line for Davrin. We'll see.
So, you and Rook? Nice.
I've got the feeling I missed something.
Adari. I can smell it.
Well, that's...
on both of you.
Oh, really? Well, that's interesting.
We may have smooched one time. Other times interrupted. Okay. A quest, an outing, a quest, a conversation, and a quest. We'll do Nev's conversation.
As you found their names, I felt them whisper through the fade. My own name changed. I am now Eulogy. I will remember them. A light glowing in memory.
That means a lot.
Passion has become eulogy.
So, Ilario.
Let me guess. You don't trust him either.
There's no playing with blood magic.
I know, but his family. I'll deal with it.
All right.
I'll deal with it.
The Mirathus Wall of Light.
These lights, they're to remember the dead?
Unless the family lacks mages to keep them lit, or the money for one, then you're left in the dark to Ventir's subtlety. This was Brahms.
Rana's old partner.
His light was out when I got here. I should have been back sooner.
People mourn in different ways. The ceremony isn't everything.
Maybe he'd say the same. I'm stopping Aelia.
Looks like we had the same idea.
Rana.
He read serials between assignments. Romance. The last one ended on a cliffhanger. He was sure he knew the ending. I never checked if he was right.
You'd have liked our friend, Valara. She loves those things. Although she expects happy endings.
So did he. At least on the page.
Better chance there than here.
You're not the only one chasing Aelia. I've tracked some of her followers. They aren't quick to talk. Most said I'd be saved soon. But I did get the name of a place. Sanctum Lusican.
Lusican.
Why aren't you there now?
It's an old temple. A lost one. If there's a record of its location, I can't find it.
It's more than we had. I can track this down.
And you'll tell me? Look, I know who else you work with, what they might suggest, but what are you going to do?
The best I can.
Right. Docktown will see...
What, Rana? Magisters who look the other way? Bribed Templars, Venatori who walk?
They see you.
Is that all? What will that mean?
Brom's light. Thanks.
I do what I can.
Keep a light on. For Brom who tried to help, and that matters. I have a slight criticism of the notifications in this game because it doesn't allow... It's one of those situations where the game doesn't allow you to make the connections yourself, and it doesn't treat the audience as if it's smart enough to make those connections or to figure those things out or to understand the development of characters, because there's a lot of moments where it's like this constant like, hey, remember this? You did this, so now Nev said the best I can. You know, it's a very interesting thing. It's like, I know that Nev will say that because I know the choices that I make with my characters. There's this weird, it feels like it's catering to attention deficit of like, oh, that thing that you did like 10 hours ago that you've forgotten about entirely. Remember when you said banana apple pie to the bartender, then they remembered that you like banana apple pie, so here you go. And it's a bit of a weird notification flash for even the most minor of things, that it does feel a little bit unnecessary, because I like being able to understand the progression and character development by what is being told to me in the actual game itself, not with the notification screen that's like a summary of events, where I can see a character's behavior and I can connect the dots and be like, wow, because of these scenes, or because of maybe this has taken place, look at this development, it's great. But instead, I don't have to talk about that, because it just says, because you said la-di-da, she now said loo-di-doo 10 hours later. So I haven't very concisely communicated my point there, but it feels like a little bit of a pain point in terms of the game's constant like notifications. Sometimes I think it can work out, like if it's more of a definitive confirmation where it was like, you have earned the Dreadwolf's respect. That feels like a pretty cool thing. But when it's like a constant, because you did this, this happened, feels slightly like getting hit over the head with subtlety. Now we're going to head here, and we're meeting with the Inquisitor. So let's see how this goes. Again, this is a nice surprise, because I didn't think we were going to be seeing the Inquisitor again. I thought it was going to be one and done. A request to return to the Cobbled Swan leads to learning more about Solus's relationship with the Inquisition. My interest is piqued.
These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Llewellyn. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solus did at Elganon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
So Morrigan is here holding a perimeter, that's fun. Out to dinner with my previous character. Now, when can I romance you? All three are kind of true. Hello, Inquisition theme. You feel good in my ears.
Elganon raised his archdemon. Solus got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Vanan.
Elven for heart.
For my heart. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind, and wise, and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
Now ain't that kinda sweet? There's some interesting elements here.
Did he try to get you to come with him on his quest to tear down the Veil?
No. In fact, he forbade me to join him. He said he didn't want me to see what he would become. But that wasn't quite the truth. He's a terrible liar.
He's the god of lies, Inquisitor.
Tricks and treachery, yes. Lies of the heart? No. He forbade me to join him because I might have changed his mind. And then he left enough clues for us to follow anyway.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solus. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes, that I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after? If there were a way? If he felt the same? If I could leave the world behind and just have him? I don't know.
Wow. This is a very interesting conversation. Oh my god, we're making a choice for our Inquisitor and Solus based on romance? This is huge! Solus Mance's punching the air. The Inquisitor will be willing or will not be willing. Wow. Both statements are true.
One thing I've learned in this job is that the people I need the most are people who can tell me when I'm wrong.
We all need that sometimes.
It sounds like that's what you were for Solus. If the two of you were better people together, and you were happy too.
I was.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He's surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about you and Nev.
What? Who? How?
Morrigan has eyes everywhere.
Of course she does.
That's funny. My previous character's wife reporting on my character to my previous character. Legacies and Legends. A nice little conversation. We'll see if returning to the lighthouse will earn ourselves a new missive. That was an unexpected little conversation about Solus and the Inquisitor. Well, now that goes in terms of friendship compared to love and relationship. It feels so much more powerful. That continuation of the romance into this game is unlike anything we've really had before. The closest thing I would say that could be similar would be being able to actually see Morrigan's Child as a Dragon Age Origins romance follow-up, but that can also come about not from a romance. So this situation of Llewellyn and Solus feels interesting. Feels very interesting. Notes from the Inquisition. Vernan, I do not know if you will see these words. My ritual is ready and will soon be set in motion. Perhaps when you read this, the world will be as it once was, and you will see why all I did was necessary. I cannot ask your forgiveness, but I hope you come to understand. That night in Crestwood, when I shared the truth about your Valasleen, you do not know how close I came to breaking. I could have shared the truth, or even put my plans aside and simply stayed with you as Solus, as I wanted. I regret the pain I caused you, and what I feel for you will never change. Wow! Man's got a way with words always, doesn't he? And this is a very interesting follow-up to the conversation that we had where we asked him about the regret, and he said he has lots of regrets, right? He does regret the pain that was caused, but he doesn't regret the connection at all. What I feel for you will never change. And he's such a diva about it too, because he's like, does he want to be stopped? He's like pulling away and off he goes. And then he's like, you have to fight for me. You have to show me that you want me to stop. When he's like leading the Inquisitor on. That's a really good codex entry. There's a really good codex entry. Alright, we're going to head back to the lighthouse now. See if there's a new missive, maybe an update from the Inquisitor, and some conversations at the very least. This is from the front, the coming storm. There it is. Rook, thank you for meeting with me again. There are precious few in this world who understand the particular burdens people like us carry, and while I don't imagine either of us begrudge our responsibilities, sometimes just knowing that someone else understands can lift that weight. Much as you hold your own people together through what must often seem like sheer force of will, so too must I keep the fragile alliance of the South alive. Even though I was gone for only a brief sojourn to speak to you, I returned to no small amount of chaos that I needed to spend time repairing. In my last letter, I said that it felt like the calm before the storm, and it still does. The blight continues to creep forward, slowly but inexorably, but we've seen very little of the Darkspawn, even as the corruption claims more and more of our lands. We've had more success to the west, where we've won several battles against the Venatori, and to the north little trace remains of the Antam dreadnoughts at the mouth of the Waking Sea. Still, the storm is building. We can all feel it. There's a tension in the air, and before we know it, the winds will howl and the thunder roll. Until then, we wait. We ready ourselves. When the time comes, we'll stand firm against the gathering darkness. Now tell me about what's happening with your allies in the south. How's the Empress of Orlais doing? How's Connor, assumedly Arl Connor of Redcliffe, doing? How is Vivian? How is Cassie? How is Lely? How are they? How are they going? Do you know anything about them? Any of them getting up to anything divine lately? Where's Blackwall? What's Iron Bull doing? Because Dorian's here and Iron Bull's nowhere to be seen. How do you feel about Sarah? Is she doing anything about this? Let us know. We have Harding here, by the way, and she says hello. Now let's see. In the map, we have... Well, by golly, we've got some quests, and we have conversations. It's almost as if our companions are constantly updating with new and exciting things.
Oh, that's not good. Not even a little bit. Rook, we have to go. We might already be too late.
Slow down. What's happening?
The artifact. Remember how I told you that I'd know if they started another ritual? They did, and it's big. Really, really big. Arlathan big, maybe.
You sure?
Completely. Nothing else explains that resonance.
Okay. So how do we stop that from happening?
I don't know. Hope the ritual's just started? We might be able to stop it if they haven't gotten very far.
And if they've had the chance?
These rituals need an anchor with a physical body, so not a spirit or whatever Anaris is, which means Syrian. And there's only one way to free an anchor.
Then let's not waste any time.
Sometimes you're presented with a few dialogue options and you're like, I don't want to pick any of those. Through the shadows. Let's see about Syrian.
Rook, I've compiled the last reports from an informant. You remember our talk with Rana? She had a lead on Alia's location. A place called Sanctum Lucican.
A lost Tevinter temple, right? Does this mean you found it?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Alia's hideout. Not sure if I should be excited or worried. Either way, I'm there.
Worried. And I figured.
So, where is this place?
The Mirathas Catacombs, an underground temple to the god of night. It was sealed off and forgotten under a derelict building outside the Thread Market. I've had an eye on the catacombs. Alia's haunted them before, but they span the city, endless twists, hidden passages. It's too much to sweep alone. Thanks to Rana's information, I was able to drop the right hints, ask the right questions. Now we've got a sanctum.
Are you ready?
Rook, I don't know. We'll find out. Ducktown's on edge. People are missing. The Threads are putting up a fight against Alia's followers, but they can't last forever. Alia's a powerful blood mage now. If I let her finish the ritual, no more chances.
So, what's our next move?
Meet at the Swan, put the last pieces in place after that. We'll see.
Alright, this could be Nev's resolution. Returned cultist case.
What a terrible form of immortality has fallen upon Isaiah.
Gloomhowler, Isaiah. Should have died ages ago. Warden or not.
Why does the Blight kill most people it touches, yet infuse a few with this dreadful vitality?
No idea. If I ever go bad like that, have Tosh breathe on me. Go out in a blaze.
We may have freed the Dalish, but Elgernon will only let so much slip through his grasp. And that dragon, mierda. I've had enough of dragons.
So, what's this about?
I got you a thing.
The knickers!
What? I knew cheese was stupid.
No, back in Ferelden, we call this cheese the revered mother's knickers. Because that's what it's supposed to smell like.
Oh dear.
Is that good?
Tosh, it's wonderful. I'm really, really touched.
It's cheese that smells like revered mother underwear.
You're really nice. And, you smell good.
Oh, thank you?
Really good.
Please get there faster, Harding.
Oh. I'd really like to show you Ferelden sometime. Sharing Ferelden cheese could be a start?
Okay. Like, now?
I could eat.
Oh, good. Let's go.
Relationship. Isn't it interesting? Rook has such a severe case of not being able to be quiet disease that, like, even when I pick the say nothing dialogue option to just let them naturally fall into place, Rook still has to nudge Harding in the direction, even though there was the dialogue option to be like, hey, Tosh likes you. It's an unavoidable situation.
I wonder if I'll get to see Kalsharok one day. Wouldn't that be great?
I think the romance is making her a little bit mentally woozy. Alright, Lair of the Dragon King. Let's go and meet Tosh in Ravane and go to Shathan's home.
Your mother learned something new about the tablet?
Haven't talked to her since the big fight at dinner. Hey, we're here. Mother? Tama? Get Isabella.
Might not be hers.
You think I don't know what my mother's blood smells like? Get Isabella. Tell her to find Cutter. Tama.
Interesting. So our Dragon King has been doing the recon.
Cutter's gone too.
He was here. I caught his scent. He took her.
Cutter. The little piece of crap who wanted to fight a dragon. What's he want with Tasha's mother?
There were letters from the Dragon King in his room about your mother and about the tablet.
Since when does the Dragon King want the tablet? He's been after Tash.
The tablet's about Tash, about fire breathers. It's why Shathan's desperate to decode it. In exchange for the tablet and Shathan, the Dragon King will turn Cutter into a fire breather, like you.
That's Vashadan!
Isabella, what do you know about the Dragon King?
I know a thing or two about the Antam, but I've never met one like him. He certainly loves dragons.
We know. His Antam were the ones who've been blighting them for the gods.
I mean, he wants to be one. He drinks their blood and everything. Makes sense that he's interested in our Tash.
Is it actually possible to make Kunari into fire breathers?
No, that's not how it works.
I thought we didn't know how it works.
Doesn't matter if it's true. Cutter believed it enough to take Shathan.
Isabella, you knew the tablet was about fire breathers.
Shathan told me.
And you didn't tell us because...
Wasn't mine to tell. Shathan wanted to tell Tash herself.
Sounds like it's time to pay a visit to the Dragon King.
We found a map in Cutter's room. He's holed up in a dormant volcano to the north. It's full of old mining tunnels. Getting inside might be a challenge.
We'll handle it.
We'll all handle it. Cutter betrayed us. When you go in, the Lords will have your backs.
Thanks. Let's go.
Okay, so Cutter, the guy that was very, very keen to take on a dragon, and that's what he was, there was that letter that was sent to Tash being like, look at me, I've got a thing. And now we know what that actually relates to. We'll take Tash, and we'll also take... I reckon we'll take Emmerich as well.
We're here. How should we proceed, Tash?
We find someplace Cutter and my mother were. I can track them from there.
You sure you don't want to head straight for the mine? Isabella said the Dragon King was there.
We find my mother first. She might be somewhere else. I'll kill Cutter and the Dragon King once she's safe.
Okay, back in Ravane. Been a while since we've been here. Looks like we don't have to go far.
That boat over there could be Cutter's.
Maybe. Let's look.
Sniff it.
She was here. So was Cutter.
You can track them by their scent.
Scent, tracks, whatever it takes. Cutter's not getting away.
I was thinking of doing the usual bring Davrin along for a dragon thing with Tash, but we want to mix it up a bit.
Got on, Tom.
Were they sent by the Dragon King?
Don't care.
Fear not, Adar. Your priest is enjoying the Dragon King's hospitality.
She's not my priest. She's my mother.
That one's all set!
That's him!
Careful, more on top. I made that one ready! At least we now know the Dragon King has her.
Not for long. Hey, take a look over there.
Antarm note. Cutter, we do not normally allow Vashoth raised in Bast lands to join the Antarm. They are soft and weak, but the Dragon King sees your potential. Prove that your will is strong, and you too can receive the blessings of Gillenane. Breathing fire like the Adari is only the beginning of the power the gods offer. Bring the priest and her tablet and earn your place among us. Sten Satakesh, the Earthbreaker. That's not our Sten. That's just the rank of Sten. It's very interesting because he's like, you're going to be able to become a fire breather. And it's like, if you're getting the power of the gods, you're just going to get blighted.
She was here.
Did they pass through here? They've locked the door behind them.
I'll make us a path. Good. Come on.
You okay, Tosh?
I'm fine. You come to die.
Are we burning this too?
Hey, we're on their trail.
Okay. You ever want to just pick up an item and just throw yourself off a cliff? Was it worth it for 14 gold?
You! We take you to mass run!
You're dead! We're getting closer.
We don't have time for this. Hang on, this thing's gonna burn.
Is that an Antarm Gatlock cannon? Why didn't they use it during the fight?
Must have hit him before they could get it ready.
That one, quickly! I've set that one up!
Hey, take a look over there.
Cutter. Bastard.
There's a chilling prospect.
Shark's Mouth Mountain. Looks even worse with lava pouring out of it. That's where he is. The Dragon King.
And we actually gonna finally get a face-to-face interaction. What does this do? I'm on a timer, so that's done something around here that I don't actually know what it's for yet. Yeah. Something that is potentially open or interactive with fire. Saw a fish today. Dancing, gliding, simple things. Joy found in purpose. Clock's still ticking, so... Okay, there's another one. Nope, not another one. Looks like we can go up here.
The size of these bones. They're even bigger than a dragon's.
Things grow big at Ravane.
That timer is still ticking. There's one. Yeah. Oh. There's a ladder that can be knocked down from there. Interesting, because I was like getting the sense that this would be on a countdown. Alright, that's no longer on fire, so it's just counting down the other one that I lit. I was gonna say, I was like, that's lasting a really long time. At this point, I'm like, is it glitched? That sound?
For gold and glory!
Look at
Damn.
that. Barely a scratch.
Alright, you lot. Jesus.
We came the short way. Any sign of Shathan?
No, the trail led here.
Then she's inside their base. It'll be full of Antam.
Not for long.
Main path's destroyed. You'll have to climb. I know how to rile the Antam. We'll make some noise and draw them off you. Good luck, Tash.
We will put it right.
Emmerich and Isabella getting a little cozy here. You guys are getting intimate.
Get going. We'll draw their attention once you're clear.
Look at them. Alright, we finally stopped hearing the bell. Oh, there's the next one. Yep. Destruction of Ravane's art. When the seers learned that the Antam in Ravane were destroying ancient shrines and ruins of earlier settlements, we sent a delegation to the Antam to ask why, with the Lords of Fortune offering their services as protection. The Antam who met with us was a massive gold-horned Kithshok, formerly a general, now effectively a warlord, who now styled himself Iskatari, or Master Killer. We know you wish to conquer, but why must you destroy these things? We asked him. He grunted in disgust and replied, I served in Kontar for years. I watched as your people laughed at us and acted like you were better, as you tried to tempt us away with your wrong ways. The things you are destroying are sacred to us, we told him. They cannot be replaced. Paintings and statues are not sacred, he told us, and shattered an ancient funeral vase with a blow from his axe. Words in a book are not sacred. A sword is sacred for what it can cut. When it breaks, it is trash. A warrior is sacred for who he can kill. When he dies, he is dust. His words shook us, as did the hatred behind them. This was a man who thought that laughter must have a loser and a winner, who had lived with resentment of those outside the Qun for years, and now had no leaders to hold him back from destroying anything that offended him. He had rejected the teachings of the Qun and replaced those beliefs with brutal practicality, bereft of curiosity or compassion. The Lords of Fortune have since worked to save ancient treasures, when they can be found and taken safely. As for the Antam, it seems those in Ravane will kill and destroy until they are stopped. I'm assuming it's gonna open this door.
Have you ever been here, Tosh?
No. Isabella told us it was bad luck to go near the mountain. Old Ravani superstitions. Said we might awaken the fire. No wonder the Antam took it over.
I think the other flame piece might be around here.
Get there! Are you brave enough to fight the Dragon King of Tosh? Or will you hide behind rocks of the shop you serve? Will you cry for him to save you?
Who's hiding? Come and fight!
They're certainly well informed.
Cutter must have given them information.
It doesn't matter. Come on.
We go this way, and this might take us to the next fire thing, because I thought I saw smoke up here. Yeah. There's a fourth one. Weather journal page. Where does this door go? I've been stationed here so long I still don't know. The old timers refuse to say. I bet it's not even a real door. Tops dared me to sneak in, but I just can't break rules. Warden Mel Caravu. Right. Just like that. It was 4. To match the number of bones on the gate. Fortune's favor. Who died on his throne? Theodore Brightaxe. Statue of an ancient Alamari chieftain who helped found the Avar people to the south. Some of the enchantments laid into the statue seem to be elven in origin. Wasn't expecting to get some references to that here. Qunari worked pillar. An ancient Qunari pillar of worked stone set with carvings. It is believed to represent revered ancestors and their accomplishments, though the specifics are impossible to translate.
Why didn't the Dragon King use these old fortifications for his lair?
Ba's fortifications? No. He might send his Antam in here to hang banners and crap. But these aren't fancy enough for him to live in. They don't make him look powerful. One may still follow the Qun while climbing. Know your body. Know the slope. Know your next handhold. Always telling me how to do everything.
We're gonna get her back.
There's still stuff I gotta tell her.
Stop!
Burn!
That one! Quickly!
Get us into a...
Qunari mallet. While the Qunari use drums to set time while rowing ships or marching, this heavy drumstick is not military but predates the Qun entirely and seems to be used to capture attention during religious ceremonies.
There's our way in.
Right. Let's go find your mum.
And then throw that stupid tablet into this volcano and never talk about it again.
Let's go find your mom. Yeah, but I want to get to this. Ah, I see. There you go. I can see that there's an explosive, so I can blow up the wall, but I'm too far away to do that here. I can see right through the wall. There we go. Jesus. I gotta go all the way around to get to it. Chipped griffin ornament. There is a crude carving under one wing. Melon tops. Best wardens forever. Oh. Bloody lava fortress. Oh, and he's fallen. And game over. Roll the credits. And he perished before even meeting the Dragon King.
That's quite the view.
That's why he made it his lair. Dragon King! You want me? Come and get me!
So much for the elements of surprise.
He knew we were here.
We'll see how much your voice carries.
Is that our Dragon King?
Sounds like.
This way. I'm like, oh, fuck it. Oh, falling everywhere. You guys don't make it easy to get in and out of this place. How do you guys get out of here, by the way? There isn't a really straight way down. Alright, we're being gatlocked.
Cannon fire! Get clear! Move! They're firing!
They're firing, but I have to pick up my pointless loot. Gotta pick up all these items and crafting materials to upgrade equipment that I'll never wear.
Incoming fire!
I love that they put so much of this on a field of constantly raining fire. You there?
Cannon fire! Get clear!
Why the sudden ceasefire?
Who cares? They're dead. Come on.
Even the air is lung-scorching.
Watch your step.
No guardrails.
Safety is for the weak.
Climate. There's nothing sacred about the Canary language.
Does the man attempt to convince his followers or himself?
True. Cheeky. And now, stop that. Now we go where we need to go. Oh my god. Ah! These slippery surfaces. Okay. Ah! Oh. I spoke too soon. This is like Dark Souls level of traversal. Of like going down some fucking bullshit wrecked village or settlement. Just crawling upon things, easily being able to fall into your death. A lot of chests up there. Oh shit.
Cutter! Tosh! I knew you'd come running.
Wow.
Kill them all! When this is over, I'll be a fire breather!
You'll be a corpse!
What a nerd.
That one! Quickly!
Stop them, you idiots!
It's just you fool. There we go.
You think you can't take this from me?
All right, cuts us down.
Cutter is Vashadon. The only enemy who matters is the Dragon King. Still a stupid name. Dragons don't have kings, they have queens.
Oh, once we find him, I have every confidence you'll educate him.
Let's have Tosh repeat the same dialogue multiple times about dragon kings and queens. Well, Cutter was a fool. Okay. Why? I'm using my controller. Let me use my controller. What are you doing? There you go. What a fool! Broke his neck. Oh, there you go. What a bloody fool. I almost expected us to take him down to low health and for it to be like a cutscene.
Let's look around for a way to open it.
But no, he's killed. Well, let's find our way around then. And then at some point find our way down. The horse figurine. A statue of what appears to be a horse carved in ancient Qunari style. The features of the mount are oddly stylized and... Wouldn't you like to know? The features of the mount are oddly stylized and faintly draconic, as though the artisan heard horses described but never saw one.
That's a lot of fire.
There's more coming!
Conveniently placed
Good.
Gatlock.
Come on.
Once the Qunari were strong, we carried the blood of dragons. But the priesthood feared our strength. They leashed us. They stole our fire. They told us to temper our rage. But we have turned our backs on their lives.
I'll give real gold if you shut up.
Shark's Mouth Fortress, ravine by fire and blade, defended. Grey wooden plaque. Grey Wooden Book. This Grey Wooden Book contains directions for alchemical potions and treatments to deal with the blight. Notes been scrolled in the margin of one page. With these potions, we can blight the dragons enough for the gods to take their minds without making them sicken and die. On the Dragon King's orders, carry out these steps on all dragons we can subdue. Any armed army who helps capture a dragon will be granted the blessing of Gillenane to ascend to their true form.
These must have belonged to the Grey Wardens.
Grey Wardens study the Blight. This must have been where the Antam learned to blight the dragons. Bastards!
We were born to hunt and destroy. Today we will claim our birthright.
You are lying. Tama.
Tosh, wait!
Today we claim our true strength by right of fire.
Tama!
Oh, great.
Avatosh, little dragon. I am Atashok, the Dragon King.
Oh shit.
I am pleased that you followed our fate.
Tosh.
You're like me.
I am nothing like you. I embrace our birthright. You hide from it. You belong to the Antam. You should have been ours. Instead, the priest stole you away.
Leave her out of this. You wanted me, you got me.
Yes, the one you call Cutter insisted you would follow our fate.
Oh, did he? How helpful of him.
Cutter's dead.
There, the rage, the passion that burns inside an Adari's heart. Your mother could not quench it entirely.
What do you want?
I want your fire, little dragon. I want your blood. My Antam have grown strong with the blessings of Gillenane. And with your lifeblood, Gillenane can create an army of Adari for me. Our fire will burn this land pure.
He's monologuing! Quick, get him while he's villainous monologuing!
You want to prove your strength, Dragon King? Then fight us!
You have not earned the glory of a death at my blade. The Antam could have made you strong, but your mother hid you away, made you hide the fire. What did she tell you? Shakrato Ebra! You struggle against yourself, little dragon. You do not deserve this. It contains a message from our ancestors. The full words can be revealed by a dragon's fire. With this, we will prove we were meant to rule this world!
You are wrong, Atashok. Chakra Toebra is not an order to struggle against what you are. It is a reminder that through struggle you find what you are. And you have never done so. Evatash has. They are stronger than you will ever be. Rook, you will keep them safe.
Chakra Toebra.
Tama!
Tosh! Move!
Yo! Fucking hell.
We've only got one way forward.
Tama. He dies.
We're with you.
Damn. That's goosebumps of a scream. Shathan gave her life and at the end of her life also respected Tash in identity, and you saw that. I really liked the Shokrato Ebra explanation is through struggle finding what you are. That's really, really powerful and really cool stuff. I liked that scene a lot, except for the villainous monologuing and the villain's terrible voice modulation. That's one hell of a scream. Can't wait to make this Dragon King burn. Oh, now this plank conveniently comes down for me. There we go. Damn, I didn't expect Shathan to get killed, but people are dying left and right. We got Cutter's dead.
Tosh, I'm sorry. We'll help any way we can.
Shathan's dead.
I need to see her and kill him.
Oh, damn. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pick my words calmly. I really don't like the exploration in this game most of the time. I fucking hate the level design. I'm so sick and tired of stupid platforms and plank things and just basic level design that is just so frustrating to walk through and to explore, and it exists for the sheer purpose of making you spend as much time as possible in the environment instead of paths that make sense. And I'm going to stay cool, calm, and collected about that. But as you probably witnessed in this episode and previous episodes in this game, is there are cuts in between certain elements of exploration because it is just long periods of I have nothing to say, nothing exciting is happening, I'm just walking through annoyingly constructed levels of I need to go through here to do this, to go here to walk a plank, to go down here to get a chest that gives me a piece of equipment I don't care about. And that element, it's like I could just ignore it, but the brain says you have to open the chest. So there's a struggle there. It's like it's self-inflicted, but also the environmental traversal is just, it's not enjoyable, especially when you end up in situations where you try to get somewhere and then the jump button is tied to the open item button and you're jumping off of things, and it happens a lot. It's just awkward. I don't like how the levels are designed. And I had this issue at the very beginning of the game where I went, man, this feels very basic, but it's the beginning of the game, so it's probably just taking its time. But we are hours and hours, we are deep into the game, and the level design persists. It's the same approach all the way through. Every single location has this same element of everything is like platforms and climbing up and getting to places. There's nothing that's super straightforward, and there's zip lines everywhere, and it's the same zip line. It's this video game language of like climbing things and traversal things that is in all of the same locations. Like there isn't Treviso has a unique zipline system that makes it its own traversal. No, the ziplines are everywhere. It's just the northern Thedas all love the ziplines and adopted it everywhere. The video game exploration really takes me out of it. And this is a consistent opinion I have across many video games I play, where environmental traversal, when done right, feels really good. I always hate it when I'm playing a game where you're like walking a path and the path is so linearly constructed to you where it's obvious and they don't camouflage it well. And this game has something similar. Really bugs me. So if you see cuts between exploration, just know that it's because there was nothing exciting or worth showing, and we're getting to the stuff that's actually happening in terms of dialogue and character development and stuff like that. All right, deep breath. So anyway, we picked up a rider figurine. We went through this twice to pick this up. A statue of a human rider or warrior carved in ancient Qunari style, and the details are worked carefully, but still show a lack of familiarity with human features. Hell yeah.
Aftershock! You're dead! Kata Ebra!
We'll get him, Tosh.
They got a dragon.
Is that a dragon?
Get ready!
Oh, of course. 4 knights rode to the battle. 1 fired unto the rightward flank, her arrows on steel rain. 1 lingered, their shield behind to guard all's back. 1 went boldly to the fore, her sword thrust forward unto the foe. And 1 crept up the leftward flank, his hammer a harvest reaped. So, right, back, up, left. But what am I... How am I opening this? I'm gonna have to come back to this because, again, a lot of the traversal is also out of order. You're like trying to get a chest, but you don't know when you're allowed to get to that point. Like, I still haven't gotten down there yet. We'll come back to the chests later in exploration. It's a pace killer to also be being like, what puzzles should I do while I'm trying to avenge Tasha's mother?
You want my fire? Aftershock!
Come, little dragon. I prepared this just for you.
They're like, make sure to heal. Oh, Calton's on.
Every breed deserves me. But this one I brought just for you. Frost, touch like your flame.
Look out for the dragon!
Whenever you're ready.
That one's ready.
Just automatically automatically got out of stagger? What? Automatically remove stagger. What about second stagger? Oh, it doesn't, just a dragon that doesn't get staggered, I guess. You're a dragon that can get killed.
That one's all set.
I've defeated blighted dragons worse than this Dragon King. Oh, was he on top of it?
Impossible. I am the Dragon King.
Dragons don't have kings.
Tash, you forgot your line. You're supposed to tell him about the queens.
Rook, Tash, we need to move. This whole place is coming down.
I know. Just give us a minute, all right? Tosh, it's time for us to go.
I can... Maybe... Oh. Help me with her legs.
I'm sorry. We're out of time. Tosh, you've got to let her go.
And the time it took to tell Tash to leave Shathan, we could have helped.
We went there to save her.
Yeah, in the time it took to tell them, I'm sorry, Tash, you gotta let her go. Like, pick her up and go, instead of spending time there just sitting there.
She never did make it easy.
No shit. Shokratoebra. What kind of last words are those for someone you're supposed to care about?
She also said you were stronger than the Dragon King.
And I misunderstood the Kunari crap. Like always. We never got to yell it out. We never get to fix it. It's a bit of her horn. I cut it off when I left her. I should do something with it. Ravani would wear it as jewelry. But she hated when I acted Ravani. Kunari would graft the horn to their own. But she didn't want me to stay in the Qun. What would make her happy?
It's not about her.
Yeah.
And again, this is a really good opportunity to break away from the binary. It's the whole character arc of identity struggle. And it's a really interesting struggle with gender identity, cultural identity, and also this sort of Kunari dragon split with the fire breather identity. And at the end, when we get to this point, with Shathan and Tash thinking, what should I do? Where's the secret third option? That's, what if I do neither of these things? You have to pick Kunari or Ravane. You can't pick, hey, what if you mixed both? What if you did your own thing? We're going to continue the pursuit of Ravani culture because that's what we picked last time. But I'm wishing that there was not a binary choice.
Did your mother want you to be a Kunari who happened to live in Ravane, or a Ravani person who happened to be Kunari?
She wanted both. But she brought me here. She wouldn't want me to become more Kunari for her. She'd want me to be... me.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah. I can do that. And I can do this. She wanted me to have it.
The Dragon King said the full message would be revealed by Dragonfire. Do we need to find a dragon?
No, the Dragon King was stupid.
Dragonfire.
Let's find out what it says.
Rook is not the smartest person ever. We'll give him that. He's not the smartest person ever. Dragonfire. Who's the companion that you've been with the whole time that can't do Dragonfire? Oh, my lord. When the Dragon King kidnapped Shathan, Tash raced to his volcano lair to rescue her, only to fall into his trap. Shathan sacrificed herself to free Tash, who then defeated the Dragon King and his dragon minion in a final deadly fight. While the Antam remain a threat in Ravane, the Dragon King's fire has burned out. Tash will honor their mother with Ravani customs. A lot of build-up for the Dragon King, and he's gone. Little Dragon. Tash honors their mother's memory and commits to moving forward as a Ravani Lord of Fortune. Hero of the Veilguard. Through struggle and with your support, Tash has learned who they are and overcome their doubts. We now have unlocked Ravani Flair, the speed and flair of the most renowned Lords of Fortune, burning hotter and doing their best work when they're first into the fray. And Ravane's Legacy. These luxurious silks decorated with gleaming treasures lean all the way into Lords of Fortune's penchant for extravagance. So we now have Ravane's Legacy. All detonations apply burning, and an additional 150% fire damage if the target is already burning. These luxurious silks decorated with gleaming treasures lean all the way into a Lord of Fortune's extravagance. Well, it's Lord of Fortune armor, alright. I don't know what's going on the back there. There you go. An embraced Ravane approach. The Lords of Fortune. Kaltanzan, blue with red stripes, not trying to blend in. Bright colors warn rival dragons not to mess with her. Heavy neck plates and no horns, big spikes on the tail. She doesn't do dominance fights with horns, she fights mean. The diet hunts other dragons, especially fire breathers, uses her freezing breath to slow or stun them. Trusts her neck plates to protect her long enough for the kill. Also grazes on Philanderous. Maybe stuff her body uses to make the cold hurts her stomach. Behavior. No horde, doesn't fight fair, kills her own kind. No wonder the Dragon King liked her. Good that there's one less of her in the world. And what is this? Request from Seer Rowan. Cousin. I've gotten word of a spirit in need of aid out in along the coast near Sharksmith Mountain. The reports say it is also making references to treasure as well as to a lost Lord of Fortune, Ritzinger. Both things made me think of you. When time permits, would you be willing to take a look? Alright. Dead men tell some tales. No new quests, but we do have some dialogue, so let's take a listen.
How many of these dead titans underground are we talking?
Many. I don't know exactly. Why?
I knew some older wardens that said they'd seen parts of them in the deep roads, but no one was really sure.
They look like part of the rock. It's hard to see unless you know what you're looking for.
Which is...
I don't know. I just know it feels different.
Fair enough. Grey Wardens go through the same thing sensing Darkspawn.
How long did it take you to get used to it?
I never did.
Never did. Davin and Harding seem to have the most conversations between one another, and I do kind of like that, because there's some great stuff in regards to the Deep Roads and Grey Wardens and Titans that all kind of comes together, which is really fun.
What power Elganon displayed at Arlathan. How smoothly he commanded the will of hundreds at once.
If Alia's been kissing up to a god, it's that one. Venatori in his pocket and now an archdemon. Can't say I like where this is going.
You and Bellara cut through his enchantment.
Yeah. Lucky he didn't know we were there. Can't count on it twice.
We'll find something new.
Okay.
Zara is dead, after everything she did to me. It should have been my knife that finished this. Ilario denied me that.
Well, we've got a Treviso journey ahead of us, so we'll see how that goes. I think with that one, we'll bring this episode of Dragon Age the Veilguard to a close, as we have more companion quests to go through next time. Hopefully we'll get some resolutions with more of our companions, and we'll prepare ourselves to be ready for the main quest. For the Love of Treviso is the next main quest that we have to complete before being able to progress Lucanus's quest. So we'll get onto that also. But thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of Dragon Age the Veilguard. I hope, frustrations aside, you enjoyed this episode, as there are plenty of story beats that are really enjoyable. It's just very unfortunate that it seems with every positive I'm ready to talk about, there's a negative not too far behind, kind of tapping me on the shoulder. But, you know, we're taking it as it comes. It is a struggle to very passionately enjoy the experience while passionately not enjoying other parts of the experience. It is a conflict that I feel, but one that we will continue to push past, of course, because like there's good stuff that I am really enjoying. There's just awkwardness that comes with it. But again, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.